got laughed at on Twitter by a couple of people for saying he's a champion hurdle horse, but I absolutely see no reason why he's not.
He's not a champion. We'll have a match bet. He's not a champion hurdle horse.
You are. Oh my goodness me.
Hello and welcome back to the Only Fools Love Horses YouTube channel. Big week just gone by. Glorious Goodwood has been and gone. We've seen Paddington out on the track, and we could be seeing him very, very soon. We'll get stuck into the review on Glorious Goodwood. I'm sure all three of us have something to say. We're moving on to the racing this weekend. It may not be vintage, but there is something for everyone. Shergar Cup, couple of Group 3 races from around the country we'll get stuck into. Gentlemen, it's going to be a week. It's a week of racing for sure. That is a way to describe it. But we've had a good week, so we can't really complain too much, Lee. Glorious Goodwood, how was it for you? Me and you were on good form, whereas our companion may not have been.
Yeah, we've been in good form, Ash. It's just the little man letting the side down, isn't it? But I had a really good week, to be fair. And look, I enjoyed Galway. Not so much Goodwood. Sometimes it's a bloodbath, but look, I actually done all right for a change at Goodwood. Galway, obviously it's a mixed bag, flatland jumps, and yeah, I like that. I prefer Galway, to be honest.
Yeah, look, Galway was quite good, I thought. I mean, Zarat the Brave, we were both sweet on, and your runner in the plate ran well. Third, was it the Hollow Games, was it?
I end up back, look, not to after time, but I end up back in Ashtree Meadow in the end. Harry had a good shout for that one, and I end up back in that
so
one.
I didn't have that bad of a week because I did actually tip that one up on the live. So
you did, but that's the only winner you had. Harry, so, we'll excuse you for that. But so look, we had the Galway plate winner and the Galway hurdle winner, so we're not doing too bad there.
If you're going to have to time, I may as well have to time myself. I know I have a couple of racing friends who I've known through growing up with my dad, and we was on messaging him. He said, "Oh, Zarat the Brave, oi, he got 6-1 in the morning," and I sent him a slip of me backing him at 15-1 2 weeks ago, and that quickly put him in his place. So that was nice. It was only for pennies kind of thing, but that paid for the beer at Goodwood kind of thing. Harry, we've laid into you too much already. It's backers of the over under 2.5 minutes are probably in clover right now. But how are you on this fine evening as we record on Tuesday?
I'm fine, mate. I'm finally back on the channel. I've been missing for 3 weeks. I was down in Goodwood last week with Sam Hart, as was yourself. Oh, what a bloody expensive place that is, mate. I absolutely did me bollocks down there. Onto the racing this week. One word to describe it is shite. However, we are here to find winners, and winners we will find. So that is what you're all in store for. It might not be vintage, but listen, if we find some value, then there's no better place to stick around. So make sure you do.
We'll keep finding this value, but it's it needs to equate to winners. That's what we need, Harry.
I was actually speaking. I was speaking to a good friend down in Goodwood last week, and we were just saying Miller Bosch was a prime example. And it was Jack Dorlin, and he turned around and he's like, I just keep finding value losers. But they just taste so much sweeter knowing that you backed a horse at 16-1, it goes off at 7-2. And even though it might get beat, you go, well, I probably was on a good thing. You're the prime example is you tonight.
5-1 into 5-4, and it still gets to.
It's a shame that. Same here with me with the freezing 6-4. As they say, you can't eat value, gentlemen. We'll quickly touch on a Glorious Goodwood. It was a big week. Plenty of horses. I want to kick off, gentlemen, because I want to talk about Paddington. I love this horse. Really love this horse now. Like I was
took him on with Emily Upjohn. Imagine doing that.
Yeah, look, imagine doing that. No, look, imagine doing that. I tried, and I was only beaten half a length, Harry. So I had a good shout for my money. But no, I love this horse. I took him on. I've taken him on pretty much most of the season, really. But I had little respect for him when he went into his Group 1, when he went into his Irish 2000 Guineas win. I was like, oh yeah, I'll back Cairo. I don't really fancy this Paddington. And now I think he's just like genuinely one of the best horses I've seen in the last couple of years. I think he's incredible. Just like the temperament he has, he keeps going for his races. He's really like a a love story to be excited by this flat season, because he's going to go down that Giants Causeway route of, onwards to the Juddmonte International, Irish Champion Stakes, fingers crossed. And then, like he has that Arc entry. God, you'd love him to go to the Arc now. And that would be like a crowning moment, up to 1.5 miles. Go for the Arc. Look, if he gets beaten, fair play. Like it's conditions maybe against him. Up in trip, don't really know. But Lee, I absolutely love this horse, and he may not have beaten the best horse in the world in Factor Cheval, but from the front, doing the donkey work in soft grounds, like he just showed a different side to him. I thought a real gritty, determined side.
Yeah, look, he's been at most dances already this season, and just shows the mentality he has. Yeah, look, I love the horse too. I think Juddmonte is there for the taking for him. The Arc, I maybe have a question. I don't know if
he's 10-1 for it. So like, of course, there's going to be a question that he'd be up in trip massively to 1.5 miles. But like,
I've seen Ryan Moore was interviewed afterwards, and I don't know if it was Matt Chapman or whoever had put the question to him about that type of trip and stuff. You see as well, he's been fined at a mile. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of why kind of change something that's not broken. Yeah, I'd go Juddmonte and see where you're at after that. But look, to go from like handicapping to guineas, and then obviously and then the Sussex Stakes the other day as well. It's just fantastic for racing. And did you see the big punt in there when you were at Goodwood? Did you?
I wasn't there. I wasn't there on the Tuesday, which is a shame. But I'm going to try my absolute hardest to get to the Juddmonte meeting for Juddmonte International, because that's just something. Whoever's put that on, like behind the scenes, fair play, really, really good.
Yeah,
you're getting people involved. You're getting young kids involved who are like, oh, Paddington, amazing. Then it's like, oh yeah, there's a horse by local Paddington. And it's absolutely cracking. But yeah, like we like on these weekly shows, we do like 3 horses that we fancy, that we liked the most from the week, and usually we try to find a little betting angle for the week for. But Paddington was my one for just number one. I will mention a couple more later, but that was for me. I absolutely loved him. Harry, I'll come over to you. You can say what you like about Paddington. If not, the week gone by, Galway, Goodwood, whatever was on TV screens, was there any horses that really took your eye out?
Oh, he was just so good, wasn't he? I think what did for me was he had to make his own running, which I think you won't see him at his best effect, even though he's bloody incredible, isn't he? When he's on the racetrack anyway. But the fact that the one that did me was Inspiro actually came to him a long way from home, and he had to kick. Ryan Moore had to kick, otherwise the race was in the balance. And it's a long way from racing. In fact, to Cheval, there's a brilliant, if you haven't seen it, lads, or to whoever who's watching this, if you go onto the jockey cam on the Twitter page, you'll actually see Factor Cheval, that jockey riding again, and you just see Paddington just go further and further and further away. And on TV, it actually looked like a moment that, I don't know, this French horse might actually get close. But looking at it through the jockey's eyes, there is no way that horse was going to get beaten. And I think you can upgrade it massively. It was breathtaking for me. And as you mentioned, Ash, it is a good story. Not so good story, on the other hand, was an absolute bloodbath of a display of a ride at Goodwood. Now, on your first ride at Goodwood, okay, fair enough, that's fine. But do not go up Ryan Moore's inside, because you'll get 2 words and one ends with off. And listen, Blue Rose Sen, I think, was the best horse in that race by a mile, and it clocked up the quickest final furlong when she finally managed to get through. Now, I know people, especially Johnny Deneen, won't be listening and saying, oh, don't listen to times and all that, but I think that is worth noting, the fact that she did run the quickest final furlong, and she looked to be travelling the best for a long way. So I think Blue Rose Sen, that's not her real performance. She was beaten into 4th, was it, in the end?
Yeah.
But if you gave me the opportunity to back all of those again, you'd be backing Blue Rose Sen.
I'd be tempted to back the winner. I thought the winner was quite good.
I would agree, Ash. I would agree.
I thought he was, and I thought she was really good, because like people were like, oh, she beat Nashua. Nashua wasn't proper day on the all weather kind of thing, but like she's done it twice now, And like Nashwa came with her winning run, and Al Hussein still won the race. You know, above the curve, I thought did really well. I thought it was going to win at one stage, but ran into one in Al Hussein. Blue Rose Sen, yes, got a questionable ride, but still won the race. Looks really well, I thought, in the prelims and after in the winners enclosure. I thought Al Hussein was great personally, and you know, if I was told me now back a horse with all four of them up against each other, I'd probably back Al Hussein. I thought she was really good, and I'd happily side with her again. Lee, any other horses that caught your eye on the week just gone?
Just quickly on that, it depends maybe where they are. If you're in France, look, you know,
the chips would be down.
Yeah, but look, I think Al Hussein is the improver and not had many chances. So yeah, I probably would take a chance maybe if it was like the same type of scenario, you know. But anyways, we'll move on. I did like a few. I thought Sweet William won really well. Whether that horse gets into the EBO is a question. I don't think owners are keen to go there. John Gosden's very keen. The owners aren't apparently.
Can I tell you a story about this? I was in the paddock, and one of the jobs I had for the week with the company I'm working with was we have William Hill as a client, and I had to go up to the TV crews and give them like a piece of paper which tell them what price they were for the future. So I did it for Highfield Princess. I did it for Sweet William as well, like saying 5-1 for the EBO kind of thing. And as I was stood there in the parade, and I thought, I'll get some quotes, see if anything gets said. Went to the owner first of all, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not sure about the EBO. I personally don't like the EBO as a race." And then I saw John Gosden on his own. Then he got the ITV cameras on him. I swooped on over. Actually, I think it was Lydia Hislop, the racing TV. Swooped on over, and John Gosden was like, "Well, yeah, I hope I can convince her because I absolutely love the EBO." I was just like, "Well, you got two of these now. Come on, lads. Let's work this out, shall we?"
He said he loves York meeting that meeting. He loves it, so he's very keen to go. Again, whether it gets in, I'm unsure. But yeah, it takes some stopping. I thought it won really well, to be fair. Good for Rab Havlin as well to get the Goodwood winner as well. That he didn't get jocked off, for Frankie. But that was the solid performance from Sweet William. I thought the old boy as well, Shergar, going chasing. It was a good round. First couple were a bit sticky, but everything went smooth. Short price. Best.
His form's already been franked.
Class act in the race, he was entitled to do it. But just good on the old brigade to go chasing at this age, like is it might spice him up a bit. Highfield Princess was the definite highlight of the week for me. I really love that horse. I think she'd be like Abbey bound as well. That race will suit her, I think, with a bit juice. And look, Sumo Sam and Quickthorn were given some rides. I know you did mention both of them, Ash, but for them, look, they shouldn't have let Quickthorn off. They know how the horse runs. Why do that is pathetic. I don't care what people say. And the same with Sumo Sam. So you've already given one this week. Then you're going to let him do it again. Look, me eye catcher of the week, the one going forward, Mystical Power for Willie Mullins, ran the first race at Galway all the way back last Monday. It's a Galileo horse. The dam was Annie Power. Just such a likeable performance. Didn't jump well, but Galway, getting in behind horses and getting trapped and stuff, still done well to come out. Mark Walsh shoved his way through, power to the lane, and it was a eye-catching performance. I think a step up and trip will help that one as well. So Mystical Power was a real eye-catcher for me. Highfield Princess was the highlight, but I think Sweet William will take a world of beating in the EVO if it does get in.
Yeah, you mentioned Quickthorn there. Lots of horses you mentioned there who are definitely ones to keep an eye on. Quickthorn, I actually had a look at the Lonsdale Cup earlier, and I think he might be bigger on the day, but I could see him doing that again. And look, to me at the prices,
of course he's going to do it again. He's got no bloody choice. But you know what?
I saw people who were like, "Oh, why don't you just go with him, lads? Why don't you just go with him, lads?" And I was like, there's absolutely no chance they'd be in the race if they went with Quickthorn. They'd be tailed off at the free pole.
But then
that
just happens. That will just keep happening.
They don't have to go with him, but they need to give it. They can't give that much rope and expect. Look, they've hung themselves. Tom Marquand rode a pearl of a race, but all these jockeys. O'Sheen was on a program with Dave Orton on the morning saying the one horse we won't be given rope to is Quickthorn, and then they've done it. I thought it was terrible, to be honest.
Is it too far fetched? And this isn't me having the go at you lads. It's just in general for people their comments after on Quick. Is it too far fetched to say that Quickthorn's actually a very good horse on his day?
I think Kiprios would absolutely demolish him.
He's a good horse. He's a great horse, but he'd get turned over if they were closer. Like, I mean, maybe he's not the other day at Goodwood, but there's races where they've just allowed him to do it, and it's constant. Like, you're saying you can't live up with him, but at least sit a little bit closer. Look, I'm not no jockey, I know that, but I just look. You know what people were saying? It's like a peloton, right? So you don't want to commit first, so I won't commit first, and then the pack's miles behind. Look, someone has to go for him and bring him into the race, because then something might have got drawn in and got a lot closer.
One thing I would say though as well is, actually, it's a fair point that you make there. But then trainers and owners, they must be looking at something and saying, right, okay, if Quickthorn's going and we've got, say, Coltrane, for example, surely you just throw something in there just to kind of put it off. I mean, Frankel had it with Bullet Train every single time that Frankel ran, that you just knew the race was going to tee it up. If no one goes with Quickthorn, that horse will not be caught. Prime example at York a couple of years ago. Prime example at Goodwood last week. Soft ground, perfect soft ground. Tom Marquand looking round. He must have turned around the straight when he's come down the hill, knowing that he's 20 lengths clear, thinking, it's all right, lads, keep the showers warm because I'll be done for 5 minutes before you. Do you know what I mean? There's just
everybody
no
watching must have been thinking, "How well, lads, you've
well, yeah, we were there. I was there, and it was you just kind of knew that down the hill there was no way the writing was on the wall from a long way out. And I think Frankie Dettori actually said they were in the stalls. I think it was on ITV, and Frankie Dettori said, "Now quote me if I'm wrong," but Frankie Dettori turned around to Tom Marquand and said, "Oh, you're going to hold him up, Tom?" Laughing and joking, saying, "Oh, you've only got one way of running," and still they've let the horse get 25 lengths on them. Mad.
Turned up to Lonsdale Cup, and he'll do it again, lads. Small tangent that we went on there, gents. I was going to quickly fire into my other couple. Zarek the Brave thought was very good in the Galway hurdle. I got laughed at on Twitter by a couple of people for saying he's a champion hurdle horse, but I absolutely see no reason why he's not.
He's not a champion. He's not a champion hurdle horse. I will put that out there. We'll have a match bet. He's not a champion hurdle horse. That 4-year-old, he's done well to win that. No chance.
I see no reason why he's not. I'm not saying he's going to go and beat Constitution Hill now, lads. Let's calm down on that one. But I'm saying that look, you can be a champion hurdle horse, but not be a champion hurdle winner. If you only had one champion hurdle horse, that means you only have one horse turning.
I reckon Willie's got 5 at home better than.
I think he's a horse that's good enough. I think he's a horse that's good enough to turn up to a champion hurdle and make the frame. I wrote an article at the end of last season. I wrote an article at the end of last season that I thought that Zarek the Brave, if Constitution Hill goes over fences, is in my eyes the best value in the champion hurdle market, something like 50 to 1 that he was at the time. He's now 25. He's shown that he can do a weight carrying performance as a 4-year-old. In a big handicap, a competitive handicap where every single thing is trying in that race off probably their best handicap mark possible. He's shown that he can do that. He was gritty at the finish. Go back and watch his Punchestown second to Lossiemouth. His turn of foot is incredible, having made some mistakes over hurdles. Lossiemouth's a very good horse. Had to give that horse weight away. I think he's a serious. I think he's a good champion hurdle contender. For this coming season. And look, if we were in a world where Con Hill wasn't a thing, then look, I think he'd be.
State Man is there to pick up the pieces.
You look again, like State Man, take him on kind of thing. Like, State Man's very, very good, but I'd happily have a pop at him. And look, I can be proven wrong, but at what he is now, 25 to 1 for the champion hurdle, be happy to prove him wrong, really. So
Ash, you are Oh my goodness me. Wow.
Harry, don't think you're in any position, sunshine, to talk about bets, are you now? And finally, on the Wednesday of Goodwood, I stuck with it a little bit. I thought Bahir was very good in the 2-year-old race. The Molecombe, very much not his ground, drifted from 4s out to 9s. That sort of said writing on the wall a little bit on his chances with the ground and conditions, but better ground. I thought you ran a storming race and just travelled the best into it, but just didn't pick up on the ground. I think a better ground race. I think Bahir for Richard Hannon is going to be a smart one to watch going forward. So that's my case for the Champion Hurdle winner put on the table. Harry, is there anything else that caught your eye for the week, or should we move on?
I just can't get over it. You getting £4 from Jesse Evans, and you think that horse will win the Champion Hurdle.
Look, we'll have to play this back.
Look, it's fine. If it look, there's no losing case for me here. If he doesn't go and be a Champion Hurdle horse or doesn't do anything, then oh no, I've made a mistake. Take that on the chin. If he goes and does a good run in a Champion Hurdle, this is talking way away now. But I have absolutely no reason why he's not going to be a Champion Hurdle contender.
Can I say my bit for that just quickly?
Go on.
I feel like the age thing is often catches these horses out, especially coming from a triumph route. But the age is I don't know, like Espo Deline, wasn't it? The last one for Gavin Cromwell, 5-year-old to win the Champion Hurdle. I can't think of the other one. Catch It, I think, done it as a youngster, maybe. But there's not many that go and can step up to that table at a young age. Maybe he's just needed another season or so. I don't know. Look, very good horse. I did back the other day as well, but I just can't see it with. I do think Constitution Hill will stick to the Champion Hurdle. I think State Man is probably next best in, and it's going to be tough for a horse like that to bridge the gap. That's all.
One thing I would say, lads, is that even though it is peak flat season, how exciting is it to talk about Cheltenham?
Oh, come on now. Steady.
You've just started us off. You've started us off talking about
you've led me down a dark alley. In fact, I'm about to fight myself out of this.
Let's move on.
I'm done with this chat now. Harry, come on. Anything else of the week for our listeners before we move on?
Van Dijk was very impressive. There we are.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Right. Weekend. That's all we needed. Van Dijk was very impressive. The weekend coming up, we've got some races to get stuck into. They may not be vintage races, and it's the Shergar Cup. Not everyone's cup of tea, but we are going to cover 5 races from the weekend, starting with the Shergar Cup. It's the Shergar Cup Dash. We have got prices as we speak. Intrinsic Bond is the 4-1 favourite. We've got Rogue Lightning there for Tom Clover 5s, Existent 11-2, Lord Ridderford 6s, Bond Chairman 13-2. Bigger prices about the rest. Harry, I'm going to come to you first of all. If you don't have an opinion on Zarat the Brave for the Champion Hurdle, what do you have an opinion on for this race?
I didn't think you'd actually let me at least come to me first. But thank you very much, Ash. Listen, it's a very interesting race. How many are entered? There's about 30,000 entered this weekend, and there's only 10 runners that can get in. So for me, I have taken a little chance on Rhythm and Hooves, who obviously did win at the Royal Meeting. Now, you did say you were going to laugh, but there's no reason to laugh. Because Archie Watson sends his horse, course and distance winner, won off a mark of 87, made an absolute mockery of that, and was only beaten 7 lengths, and I don't think the race went to plan last time on my birthday, on King George Day. I think at 12-1, it's very generous, and you'd expect number 16, you'd hope that this horse gets in, and I think getting weight all around, I think we'll have a decent chance, especially with probably either Holly, Safi, or Hayley Turner, when it pays to just back the women all day.
Lovely stuff. Do you know which going to be? Do you know which team it's going to be for?
You don't know that.
You don't know. That's the worst bit.
Absolutely awful from you, Lee. What do you fancy for the race?
Definitely not Rhythm and Hooves, but no. Look, I do think Alligator Alley's got a good shout. If it gets in, like Harry says, look, 10 can only run, but dropped £2. Was third behind Lord Ridderford. last week at Goodwood. That horse was going for a 3-time out in the same race and bolted up. But it wasn't, half eye catch, I would have said. Dropped a couple of pounds. Has won off 96 and off a mark of 100 in the past. It's now on 91. And it's just been looking like its time is coming round. So Alligator Alley, I would take if it does get in.
Yeah, look, I don't really have one for this. I kind of left the race alone, but Alligator Alley was one that was sort of on my radar. I thought he had a good chance off his current mark, and kind of like the Shergar Cup for me, because there's only 10 runners per race. It's kind of like the old boys are allowed to have a day out kind of thing, and they're allowed to go and win. Because it's difficult for them in normal handicaps when there's 20, 25, when you've got these progressive types coming in. Whereas for these handicaps, you need to be high rated, and usually that means you're experienced. You've been there, done that. I can completely see the case for Alligator Alley. The Shergar Cup Stayers, the only other race we're going to cover from the Shergar Cup. It is the next race at Ascot, the 210. Prices on our screen as we speak. Blazon Fire 11-2, Nathaniel Green 7-1, but just running the weekend, so may not be going. Rhythmic Intent 7s. It's Good to Laugh 15-2, Quantum Leap 8, same price as Temporize, who was the Sid Hosey winner, but again he might not run. And bigger about the rest. Lee, I'll stick with you. What do you fancy?
Look, that Temporized, if it does run, will have a solid chance. Obviously, just ran in that Stayers race at Goodwood. Got a £7 penalty, but it absolutely bolted up, I would have said. So, yeah, look, it would definitely have a chance, Temporize. But I think Blazon 5 will definitely go to the race. It's a 2-time course and distance winner. Battled on really well the last day. It was almost Quick Thorn type, the horse in like 3rd or 4th or wherever it was, bolted off in front. The two come round the outside, had to really battle. They pulled a long way clear, and Blazon 5 come out on top. Been put up £3 for that last run, but it only just does enough. So the handicapper can't always get a grip on him. So Blazon 5, 2-time course winner. Over the distance, I like its chances.
Very nice case made for the current anti-post favourite. Harry, yourself, as you went to go turn the light on and what, you make yourself a cup of tea, 4-course dinner?
4-course dinner. See, for Burn-on-Trent, mate, it's beans on toast, bit of sausages in the middle, and that's it. See you later. No, it's Good to Laugh for me, which I can see Lee is already ready to laugh. But Jenny Canley sends us a long way down to Ascot, which I think is a little bit interesting for me. Only a 6-year-old.
Where's Jenny from, by the way?
Jenny is from. It's got to be near your way, hasn't it?
Absolute checkmate from Lee there.
It's got to be near your way. I'm sure she's near your way.
She's not near me, I'm sure.
I think actually looking close to it, she's near me. She's actually closer to me.
Yeah.
Staffordshire.
I was thinking she's not up my way. Look, there's nobody up in Newcastle, I don't think so. Yeah,
no, I've got that wrong. But anyway, it's Good to Laugh. It's always good to be wrong as well. Go back to this horse's first race, Ash. This actually mesmerised me when I actually looked earlier. Finished a half length behind Kamiko. Now, that for me, if you look at that, you think, wow. And then this horse is a pretty decent hurdler, rated one off a mark of one. No, raced off a mark of 132. Won by off a mark of 125. This horse has been raced in the mid 80s, I'd say, on the flat. But there's definitely a big pot for this horse. I guarantee you, there's a big pot for this horse. And ran well at the Goodwood meeting at Glorious Goodwood before. Just think off a mark of 87. There's still untapped potential, and it might be that Saturday is the day for Jenny Canlich's. It's Good to Laugh. In other words, my last leg of the Trixie was beat.
Oh, that is sad. That is sad news. I absolutely love, Harry, when you quote form from August 2019. Absolutely love it when you quote form from there. That is going to come round. That will come round, and that will help you at some stage. Absolutely love it from you.
It will.
No, I found this one difficult. I did land on one. I actually landed on two. I thought the Very Man was interesting for Jessica Harrington. A nice horse for her and the team. Bit of hurdling, bit of flat stuff as well. Was second to Teed Up at the Galway Festival. So, if they turn around in time, could be going, and looks like well handicapped on that, because Teed Up would go to finish second behind Brazil in a nice valuable handicap hurdle before going to win again. So it looks like run onto one on the flat there. Just looks like a very, very nice type. Obviously, the class animal in here won a Turler's Maiden last year, so has won on the flat before, having tried a couple of times and been failed to. But I can see this horse running a good race. But the one for me is Zoffy. Going back to the well with Zoffy, having backed it the last day when ditching, calling the wind at the wrong time. But I thought ran an eye-catching race at Royal Ascot on decent grounds, was finished sixth that day, having raced 3 or 4 wide. Actually raced about 8 or 9 round, like as in coming round the bend was about 8 or 9 wide. I thought ran a great race that day. Ran a great race in the Chester Cup behind Metier on soft ground. Now, I think the ground's going to be key this weekend. It's pretty dry across the country until about Friday, and then Friday and Saturday is going to be sort of mixed showers here and there. It's currently soft ground at Ascot, as the last reading, I believe. So I expect it to be good, maybe softer side of good, and just for those proper summer horses, might be a bit too soft for them. But Zoffy's fairly ground versatile and does have that soft ground form. So that'll be for me. Zoffy 10-1. Be happy to take a chance there, and the 6-year-old seems well handicapped, and that Chester Cup form looks fairly decent. Gentlemen, we'll fire over to Haydock. Interesting racing over there. Now, again, they're a track that's currently soft ground, but they might dodge a little bit of the rain. Who knows? But the first race is that's priced up, and it is the first race of the day. It's the Betfred Handicap, also known as the London Miles Series Qualifier. 33 entered, only 17 get a run, so good luck. We're trying to find one here, lads. But El Najim 6-1, Poet Master 6s, the Gatekeeper same price, Liberty Lane 8-1, Safe Voyage 9s. Now, it's good luck for you two finding one, because it's actually just me who has a fancy for this. So I'm going to continue talking if you haven't heard enough of my voice. Liberty Lane is the one that I landed on. Thought I had a good chance here. Ran very good at Royal Ascot, at Newmarket when finishing 4th. Got dropped £1 for the run. Had to make up a ton of ground, was positioned at the back, came about 4 wide coming down the straight, stuck on, sort of hit second, and then got done by 2 staying on. I think with a better run, with a clearer run, I think could have run a bit better. But dropped £1 by that from the handicapper, so I thought that was very nice. I was backed heavily for Goodwood on the Saturday before the racing was cancelled, with something like 8s into 4s, 7-2, 3-1. So Connections obviously thought was going to run a good race on Saturday at Goodwood before it was abandoned. There's a good run behind Waipira at Newmarket at the start of the season, when sort of back to favouritism, 9-4. Truly ran into one there in Waipira, who was 25-1. Had to do the donkey work that day and just got done by a very, very decent animal. Same goes for the Dante when finishing, I think, 7th in the race. Had to do the donkey work from the front and then just got done by plenty of good horses. But off a mark of 97, I think Liberty Lane could be a very much a Group 3, Group 2 animal. So would like to be going close here off the current mark. Gentlemen, you're very quiet there, and I like the patience.
No, I like that case. Solid case, though.
Thank you very much. I like the patience, and the patience will be rewarded as we go over to the Rose of Lancaster Stakes, the Group 3. Al-Azi 7-4, King of Conquest 4-1, same price about Savvy Victory, and Besto 11-2, Midnight Mile 13-2. Bigger about the rest. Harry, I'm going to come to you first of all. So I think you have an opinion on this race. What do you like?
This is the lay of the weekend, this one. The current ground, it says on my racing post app, is heavy. And if you've ever been to Haydock, for one, it's always cold. And 2, the ground is always horrific. So, well, every time I've been, it always has been anyway. But I'll say, if this ground deteriorates, this horse has no chance. And I mean no chance. Now, I think, Lee, even though I know you're going to put up this horse, you can agree with me. If this horse is worse than good ground, no chance.
It won't run if it's worse than that, I would have said.
So then, would you say this is a good thing? Would you be taking 7-4 anti-post on a horse that has to have good ground?
But it's look,
no, that's not a question. That is not my question.
Run though. Oh, anti-post, no.
So you would happily leave this race until this horse gets declared?
Yeah, look, Jim Crowley's jocked up, which sometimes indication, but I do think it'll run. I think it's the best horse in the race. I think it was
that horse is £20 below his best when the ground's soft. And that
But
will not be good enough to win that race.
Look, it travelled well enough the last day. I just think it's
on what ground? On what ground?
If you listen to what people say, Harry Diaz, right? I said
you know I'm right.
Run
you know I'm
on
right.
that ground, so it's not to take its chance and wreck the horse on that ground. It's so lightly raced horse. It's only had 2 runs this season. Bombed out the first day, but that was first run back. Last day, go on, Ash.
I was just going to say that it's currently soft on the Racing Post, and there's not any rain scheduled until Saturday, where it's sunshine and showers.
So would you take the 7-4, knowing that this horse needs good ground?
Does it really need it, or is it just?
It needs it. Honestly, it needs it. It's allergic to anything softer than ground.
I don't believe so. I think any good horse will go on any ground. To be fair, I understand. Look, if it's a bog, it's not going to run. 2 runs this season, bombed out the first time, travelled so well the last time, absolutely bolted up behind the likes of Pale Driver in a Coronation Cup, a Group 1. This is a much lesser race. It's the class horse of the field. If it takes its chance, it'll win. Simple as.
This is tougher than its race last time.
Harry, how far through the form of the Racing Post did you go on Al-Azi? Just a question.
I've laid the horse every time. I got stung by it last time.
No. How far through the Racing Post form? Because if you go back to just his third run, one on soft ground by 10 lengths.
When was his third run?
What?
When was his third run?
June 2020, won a novice event on soft, and then
went to 2020,
and then went to a Group 3 Bahrain Trophy and beat Dawn Rising on good to soft, and then beat
3 years ago.
Get him, Ash.
And then beat Thunderous by 4 lengths.
What does that matter? Surely
wouldn't have won. The year wouldn't matter for soft ground. It just shows that he's like fair. I personally would say he's ground versatile enough for what's coming on the weekend.
No way. That horse has to have
heavy, which is a different. You've got soft, you've got heavy, and you've got Haydock heavy. I'd understand Haydock heavy.
And it won't run on Haydock heavy, will it?
Heavy, no. Soft ground, maybe. Good to soft or above, I reckon you'd be all right.
Has to have soft ground. Has to have good ground, sorry. But listen, we can disagree. But I just think 7-4 is a horrific price because if you're taking that price, then fair enough. But you're taking it on the basis that the ground is going to be good at Haydock on Saturday.
I'm not taking it on that, by the way. And like Ash has just proved that it's versatile. But it's not just off the ground. It's the best horse in the race by a country mile. People got burnt the last time. 2 runs back. That's why they didn't. They let it go from like 8 to 11 or 4 to 7 or something daft, all the way out to 100 to 30, and it pissed in. Simple as.
I will steer away to a horse that should be running on whatever grounds. I think she could be quite ground versatile. I'm going Midnight Mile for Richard Fahey, Oshin Orr. First of all, is a 3-year-old filly, so we'll be carrying just the 8 stone 10 on her back, which actually. It's the maths now. £11 from Al-Azi. It's actually the best in the race at the weights. No, sorry, second best because Embesto is actually the best at the weights. But better at the weights than Al-Azi. And I thought it was very good last time out at York on good soft ground. This is a race where both me and Harry really liked 2 in the race. Harry put up Sparks Fly for the Which Bookie column, and I said, Harry, don't do that. Queen for You absolutely bolts up. And happy to hold the hands up. We were both very wrong, but I thought
that's never usual though. We're never usually both wrong.
we should put that as the title of the video. We're usually wrong.
We're never usually wrong. No. Queen for You was fancied that day, and given maybe not the best ride in the world by Rab Havlin, held a little bit back, but still ran a good enough race. And I think the form of that race will stack up. Golden Lyra was in his 6th. 5 lengths back. That Mukadamar for Roger Verry and Jim Crowley has got some nice form in her form book. That was second. Midnight Mile hit the front and just went away, eased down to the finish. I was really taken by this run by Midnight Mile. And then all you have to do is go back to the form book of this horse. Was 4th to Soul Sister in the Musadora. And Novakai was ahead of her. Novakai's come out and absolutely bolted up next time, and Soul Sister has only gone on won the Epsom Oaks of all races, and then finished 3rd in that race over in France, won by Feed the Flame, and then was also 4th in the Breeders' Cup in a Group 1, won by Meditate. So it shows that can handle firm ground when needed. It won't be firm ground this weekend. It'll be good to softish kind of thing at Haydock. which shown can handle. Was good stuff last time out of York. Been a bit of money, which is rather annoying. I saw 9-1 earlier when I was writing this up. It's now 13-2, which is a bit of a shame, but I think that's a fair enough price. So I'm with Midnight Mile, getting all of the weight, all of the allowances, and hopefully all of my hopes and dreams by the weekend. For the Rose of Lancaster Stakes. Gentlemen,
Actually, mine does say Embesto in there.
Sorry, of course. Sorry, Harry. Sorry. You spoke so much about Alalti. I forgot that you had a fantasy.
Mate, honestly, Midnight Mile, I really do agree with you. Looking back, I didn't really actually realise this horse was at the Breeders' Cup. I completely forgot this horse was fourth. It was only 10-1, which is surprising. But Embesto finished 3 lengths behind Nostrum now. Be interested to know what your thoughts were. Going back a little bit, we're going to last week, but your thoughts on Nostrum, because I thought Nostrum actually ran really well. And I think if the ground wouldn't have eased as much as what it did, because we had quite a lot of rain, didn't we? I think that horse would have won. And I think
he didn't stay, did he? I don't think he stayed.
I think he stayed, but I just think the ground was key to him, and I think he does need quick ground. I mean,
was it you saying, Lee? Was it Ryan Moore was on board and he was saying like he thought he had the earth and the moon underneath him, and then when he asked, he sort of didn't deliver. Yeah, I just think he didn't stay, but it is good form for your man Embesto.
Yeah, exactly.
James Savage, the assistant Sir Michael Stouters, he says that Ryan had basically had everything covered. It was travelling great. Furlong pole just blew up, and that was it. So I think it was the ground, to be fair, but I think the winner, Frankie's Epictetus, that one just
Epictetus, isn't it?
That one stays best, stays favour. Still a classy horse, so I think the best horse won to be, in truth.
Rounding off, I like Embesto.
Fantastic. Well put forward points there, Harry. This will be edited out in the edit, but we've had about 9 takes on Harry trying to say why he likes Embesto. Anyway, the Group 3 Solera Stakes, gentlemen, final race at Newmarket. That we're swooping over from Haydock to Newmarket, 7 furlongs for the 2-year-olds and the 2-year-old fillies, I should say. Fallen Angel 3-1 for Carl Burke, Daniel Tudhope. Soprano, George Bowie, Kieran Schumacher 7-2, bring that Royal Ascot form in. Wild Goddess, William Buick, Charlie Appleby in the famous Godolphin Silks 4s. Darnation 5, same price 6-1 about Carolina Reaper, bigger about the rest. Lee, go over to you. What do you fancy for the final race we're covering?
I think this Darnation was like a real eye catcher the last day. Bolted up by 10 lengths. It was kind of egg and spoon race, but the second come out and won today as we're recording. But couldn't have done it any easier. He's down at the lane. You could have probably added 5 or 10 lengths if it was pushed out, to be fair. I think this one really stepped up from debut to go and bolt in the last day. That was a couple of weeks back. Be praying for a good run in this. But I do like Carolina Reaper. Won by 4.5 lengths over track and trip the last day. Had ran in the Chesham, and that Chesham has worked out really well. Snelling won the race. Not seen Snelling since, but Pearls and Rubies ran second in a group race at the Curragh. Hot Fuzz, I think, was 4th, bolted up at Salisbury. Golden Mind was ahead. That horse ran 4th in a group race there at Glorious Goodwood. And Odyssey as well was in 3rd, I believe. Had ran 3rd to City of Troy at Newmarket. 2nd was Hartham. Hartham went and won that race, the Group 1 at Glorious Goodwood. So plenty of form lines in there. I think it was a solid enough Chesham, to be fair. Carolina Reaper was only beaten 2.25 lengths. And like I say, come in the last day, bolted up by 4.5 lengths over track and trip. I think Carolina Reaper is the one to be on. I was looking and hoping the Doyle would ride, because I thought he got a good tune out of her the last day. But Oisin Murphy's down to be riding, so a good substitute, I would have said. And yeah, hopefully work the magic again. So Carolina Reaper is a hot pick from me.
Very good, very good.
I had to get the dad joke in. So
You had to. You mentioned Hot Fuzz there. Best movie there's been ever made, by the way. I know
Hot
it's spelled
Fuzz.
differently.
Hot
No,
Fuzz.
I know it's Hot Fuzz, but Hot Fuzz is the best movie ever made, and I won't hear
Is that
anything
with
different.
Simon Pegg?
Yeah, absolute belter, absolute belter. Went to the University of Gloucestershire, wouldn't you know? You mentioned Darnation as well. That was my fancy for the race. I do have a small worry about actually going to the race, so maybe just hold fire as an anti-post.
Why do you think I wouldn't? Sorry, just
because Carlberg has the FAV. Darnation only ran on the 28th of July, so it'd be a 15-day break between for a 2-year-old filly. You just wouldn't be too sure. It is a too darn hot kind of thing. So like, I maybe might run, but if Carlberg didn't have the FAV in here with Danny Tudhope jocked up, I'd maybe be a bit more confident. But yeah, Darnation is mine. I can't see it getting much shorter with the horses ahead of her in the market and already being 5-1. So happy to leave her until declarations. Harry, round it off. What do you fancy?
Just thinking why Clifford Lee isn't booked up aboard Fallen Angel. Now I know that Danny Tudhope was second at Sandown on her last time.
Who's the owners of
Doesn't he ride regularly for Clipper Logistics?
Yes, he's the retained, isn't he?
Yeah,
he does, but Clifford Lee rode this horse first time out, I believe.
Yeah, Danny might have been there, might have been somewhere else, or just injured or something like that. I'd say that Danny's the one to go to because he's sort of like retained for Clipper.
Yeah, which is fair enough. I think the horse, obviously, Soprano was actually beaten by Fallen Angel, only by I think it was a length or so in the end. But I think the race was messy, and I actually do think that Shawari is a very, very good horse for Ollie Sangster. That's the one.
Yes, you are correct.
Yes. I think that horse was very impressive. If I'm right in saying this horse won at Newbury, Shawari. First time out.
I'm going to say you're correct here because I can check the racing post while I'm talking now.
Yeah, so I'll keep talking. Just
you're right. No, you're right.
Yeah, because I genuinely do think that horse is very, very talented, and I think actually Soprano. I don't think the race was run to suit. I think she just kind of got a little bit bullied by not Portafortune. She got beat by her. Shawari came on the outside, and Fallen Angel was on the inside, and she was kind of trapped in the middle. I just think that she kind of just.
I think she had the run of the race. To be totally honest,
I think she got a little bit intimidated. If I was saying, I think if William Buick was riding again, I think he did wait at the time because she has got a kick. She actually looked like the winner, probably a furlong and a half out. And Sandown is a tricky place to go for a 2-year-old, isn't it? Especially on soft ground. The actual penultimate start behind Matrika and Portafortuna, that is good form because Matrika came out and won at the Curragh, and we'll actually know the substance of that form when Portafortuna runs in the Phoenix on Saturday. I think that's the best form on offer. 7-2, 3-1, about the two at the top of the market is probably fair enough. Fallen Angel, Carlberg's flying, isn't he? He had another good winner today as we're recording. I can't think of what it was called. Wild Goddess was in there for the Newmarket, won by 4 lengths, but Charlie Appleby's, he's hitting form again. It's a tricky race, but Soprano would be the one for me. But Kieran Schumacher takes a ride. He's only had 3 rides for George Bowie this season.
Lovely stuff. Gentlemen, any other bets or naps? I assume there won't be any other bets, so I'll just go naps. Best bets for the race we covered. Lee, go for yourself.
Oh, I will take... Yeah, I'll take Carolina Reaper in that race. I think she's got a strong form from that Cheshire run, bolted up over the track and trip. And yeah, I can see her going well. Carolina Reaper for me.
Nice. Harry?
I'm going to kind of stick to what I said about the Phoenix Stakes. I think Portafortuna might just upset River Tiber, even just at the odds, 11-8 about River Tiber and 9-2 about Portafortuna. I think Portafortuna is a horse on the up, and I think getting the weight off River Tiber might just be able to do so for Donica. So it'd be good to see Donica back in the winners' enclosure in another Group 1.
Lovely stuff. I'm going to go for Midnight Mile in the rows of Lancaster Stakes. Gentlemen, before we finish, Lee, go over to you. We are going to announce another competition coming up.
Yes, got another competition, all free again. Just got to like, share, and retweet it, and also tag a friend. So we're going to pin it to our profile at Only Fools of Horses Racing on Twitter, and it is with horse racing pins, so you can see
I
our.
like what you did there. Pin it to the
pins.
profile.
Yeah,
Pin it to the profile.
Look,
Horse racing pins.
we've got all the pins going. Look, we're kindly sent these by Horse Racing Pins. You can get, look, all the different colours.
This is such a prized possession of me. The pins. It's actually on my other prized possession of a Bouvedere drawing, a little thing done
look,
of my favourite ever horse. So there you are.
We've got these sent from Horse Racing Pins, but we're going to do a competition. It's going to launch tomorrow as we upload the video, run for 2 weeks. Like I say, you just got to like, tag, and follow Horse Racing Pins as well. But it's for a gift box from them, and it's a big gift box. Is there about 20 pins or so, 15 in, Harry?
15 pins.
15 different pins. They're worth a lot of money, and it's a great prize to win. All different colours from racing. Obviously, I've got the Constitution Hill black and white, Howe, and also JP's there. I got Richie's colours as well sent to us, but you can get Facile Vega and all different colours, honeysuckle and everything like that. But yeah, it's going to be run as we upload the video for 2 weeks. All the details will be pinned to our profile.
Yeah,
pinned.
Lovely stuff. Well done. I actually got the Constitution Hill one, which is here. I actually got that at the Cheltenham Festival from the Unibet rep Brett Williams. So good man, Brett, and he gave me that pin nice and exclusively early. So thank you very much.
Question, boys. Constitution Hill. Before we go, hurdling or chasing? Ash. One word. Hurdling or chasing?
I don't care, to be honest. In this flat season, when I've got the Brighton Festival coming up, Harry, I will be in Brighton as this video is uploaded. I am in full flat mode. Tony could have a run in the Shergar Cup. He could have a video. He could have a run in the Shergar Cup.
You think hurdling?
I do. I think the stay hurdling. I think it's a tough game to then try and keep stepping up. I know they said Gold Cup, but I don't think he quite stayed at Aintree. Look, we'll get into it as the season goes on. We've got plenty of good content coming up. Got a big announcement rolling next week too. But
that's a big announcement as well.
It's a big announcement. It's a big announcement. But we've got the competition. Go to our Only Fools of Horses page, and as Ash always says, like and subscribe to this video.
Hey, it's good to be back as well, boys. I've not seen you for ages.
It was better when it was just me and Lee.
Yeah.
Cheers, lads.
Please do like. Yeah, please do like, subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us all of our Twitters. Here they are on screen. Tony Carroll is king. He's got hopefully a run in the Shergar Cup if everything goes well. He might not. Needs some horse to come out. Gallant Lion, lovely horse. And I'm at Brighton for the Tony Carroll Festival. So Tony Carroll is king. Please do like, subscribe. If you're having a bet, do please gamble responsibly. We'll be back 10:30 a.m. On Twitter for our final fancies for the weekend runners. But if not, we'll see you very, very soon.